Would you like to see the alignments and the aspects we're talking about this week? Well, check out the weekly overview on the funastrology.com YouTube channel. A picture really is worth 1,000 words. Hey, TGI Friday, and for us, basically, the last day of August together. However, I'm planning on being here tomorrow with Ray Merriman's commentary as usual. But yes, we are wrapping up August, and we have a great way to start September. Well, at least it's what's in the sky. Not much we can do about what's already been there for thousands of years to occur this weekend. But Uranus goes retrograde, and Pluto re-enters Capricorn for the first time in a long time. Mentioned it yesterday. I asked Kristin Lawhead if she would like to opine on this, and boy, did she ever.
Hi, Thomas and Fun Astrology podcast listeners. This Sunday, September 1st, Pluto moves back into Capricorn via retrograde for the very last time. At least for a very long time. Pluto's orbit is 248 years, so this won't be a planet and sign combination that we'll physically see again. Pluto ends its retrograde on October 11th and will move back into Aquarius on November 19th. So this is actually a short trip. Pluto is the planet of transformation, and it has been shaking up the house that rules Capricorn in your chart for the last 16 years. Pluto's transition year from Sagittarius to Capricorn was back in 2008. So if we think back to that time, obviously there's been some changes, but there's wisdom in the finish line, and we're there. Capricorn is Saturn ruled. Thomas has talked a lot about Pluto and Saturn and their conjunction in Capricorn, but I want to look at their cycle in a little different way. Right now, Saturn resides in Pisces, but back in 2008, Saturn was in Virgo. This means that Saturn started at one end of your chart and is currently 180 degrees to the other side. So it means it covered a full half of your chart in the last 16 years, but ending in the same mutable axis, all within Pluto's single sign transit through Capricorn. Pluto is often associated with the phoenix rising from the ashes, but change is hard to keep contained, so I encourage everyone to look at the half of your chart that this planetary duo has been leaving changes. May the end of your current Capricorn cycle bring you many blessings, but come November, may Pluto bring you Aquarian new beginnings.
Wow, Kristin, thank you so much. That made the last about 15 or 20 years just make sense. And I mentioned yesterday, we would not be here today had not that happened and that process occurred in my own life. And I will say, looking forward between now and November, like she said, I'm so glad that I'm on the path that I'm on now and not that path, because otherwise I would have to go hide in the root cellar and see you in January. Like, wow, it was a wallop, but it's what it took to wake me up. And like we said yesterday, so here's the timeline. At 11:17 tomorrow Eastern, Uranus turns retrograde at 27 degrees 15 minutes Taurus. Then, what Kristin just referenced, at 8:08 p.m. Sunday night, Pluto goes back into Capricorn. And then rounding out the evening, the moon enters Virgo just 12 strokes before midnight Eastern Time, and that wraps up, basically, the action this entire weekend. Today, the moon, speaking of, enters Leo, and that happens at 1:09 p.m. this afternoon Eastern, and that's after a 1 hour, 45-minute void of course that is prefaced by that trine that we mentioned back on Monday or Tuesday. That trine with Neptune is the last aspect before the void of course, so you have until 11:24 this morning to get anything done you'd like to do with that lunar blessing of that trine with Neptune. So there is inner work for all of us that's going to be available to do if we want to clean up. See, those of us who are aware and awake and watching for this kind of thing, we know now that we have this window between now and November, as Kristin said, that we have to clean up any little Capricorn things in our life that we want to address before those Pluto in Aquarius changes start to occur for the next 20 years. If you think about it, as she mentioned, this energy that we're in right now will not be back on this planet for probably, depending on how you live, 3 or 4, maybe 5 incarnations ahead. Our souls will not have access to it. at least not in this form. So definitely something to pay attention to. And then we have to acknowledge, as we did yesterday, Uranus's powerful transition into retrograde, one not to be ignored, especially as its younger brother just turned direct. So quite an interesting weekend. Stay in touch with your intuition. Stay in touch with your inside. And I'll see you back on Monday for a quick holiday episode, and then we are going to introduce you to Elisa Dixon on Tuesday, who's going to be talking about Venus conjoining that south node right there in Libra. Ooh, excellent material on how to interpret and imply that. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you back with Merriman tomorrow, and then back here with a quick holiday episode, at least in the United States, for Monday. Have a great day. Love you. Happy Friday. Bye.